welcome. I'm here with Kathy Casey, the CEO of Simply Better Brands. Kathy, it's such a pleasure to have you with us. How are you doing?
I'm great today. Thank you so much, Michael, for having me. I'm really excited to spend some time with you.
Same here, Kathy. It's our pleasure to have you here. Let's start off by you giving us a high-level overview of Simply Better Brands. What is the company's mission?
Yeah, the way to think of Simply Better Brands is it's actually a wellness company. And we believe that all humans should have access to wellness. And so we have very strict guardrails about the products that we bring to market, and we want to help folks ultimately on their wellness journey. We operate in natural and organic spaces, typically plant-based, and really in the clean ingredient space. We operate in three categories: skincare, organic and natural food, and ultimately plant-based wellness. We are currently publicly traded today on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and you can purchase the stock either in Canada or also on the OTC market in the US after going public back in December of 2020.
Outstanding. And of course, as we speak into that, we'd love to know more about you and your impressive track record that have led to this mission and what you're working on. Tell us a little bit more about your backstory and what led you to this role here.
I'm really, I would call it a corporate dropout, right? So I spent about 30 years in corporate America, about 10 years at Procter & Gamble. I did a startup in between for about 5 years. Went to Kellogg actually for about 20 years. And I've done work in sales, marketing, and general management primarily. Worked on multiple categories and pretty much every class of trade from brick and mortar to e-commerce. Spent some time there and really loved it. And I've tried to bring some corporate America experience over into now what's a smaller company, the small cap world. What got me here was really interesting. I try to be intellectually curious by nature, and I started hearing a lot about CBD. And originally, before we evolved to a wellness company, we actually were a CBD company. And I heard all these powerful feedback about what CBD could do to improve the quality of people's life. And I jumped ship, if you will, to kind of follow the plant. And what now started as a CBD company is a broader portfolio of clean ingredient and wellness brands that address the consumer on their wellness journey.
It's clear there's been a lot of growth, and diving into that a little bit more, Simply Better Brands is experiencing record growth right now. Can you share the drivers that have led to this record growth up to this point?
We really focus on what I think is incredibly on trend. I've been in the consumer product business for quite some time, and we try to always follow the consumer through good research. And what we're seeing right now, not to be surprised, is that people want to take better care of themselves. They're on this wellness journey, and I think COVID to a certain degree maybe have even accelerated that. And we have very, very strict guidelines that we focus on clean ingredient, primarily plant-based, non-GMO, absence of negatives products, often in either organic and natural. Those guardrails really have us bring forward solutions that meet for these consumers, and candidly, it's resonating. So we operate across three big brands. The first one is a No BS skincare brand, which spans 1,500 ingredients to make sure that we address what people want to put in, on, around, or can be absorbed in their body. We have our wellness brand, CBD. This is the one that started as a CBD brand and now has evolved into a variety of different active ingredients that address consumers' needs. And I'm laughing a little bit because this is our bar brand called True Bar, and you can see that I had it for breakfast this morning, so I don't necessarily have a great sample of it. But these are really the three brands that are driving growth. And what we've done, Michael, is bought all of them as primarily direct-to-consumer brands. And so we're growing the direct-to-consumer business while we're also taking them broadly into brick-and-mortar environments to make them true omni-channel brands. And so we grow in really three ways. One, through the channel expansion I talked about. Two, through category expansion. And then lastly, once we get those two done or on the mend, we focus also on geographic expansion.
Understood. Pivoting a little bit from that, as you mentioned previously, strategic acquisition is a big part of your strategy in this market. What benefits do companies who come under the Simply Better Brands umbrella see once they join you in what you're doing?
So what Simply Better Brands provides for these folks is actually resources and capability and infrastructure to ultimately help them to achieve their mission. The two most recent companies that we bought were actually women-owned, women-founded, and women-ran. Obviously, Simply Better Brands is women-ran, so we care about that in terms of the space that we go after. But most of the founders of all of the companies that we've bought, which has now been 6 companies, most of the founders are still with us. So we take the passion and the guardrails of the founder, we mix it with Simply Better Brands portfolio, and actually we build the brands together.
Got it. Okay, and then a closing question for you. Is there anything else on the roadmap for the rest of 2022 that the audience should be keeping an eye out for? Anything else that's coming down the line for Simply Better?
Think of, in its most macro sense, as we wrap up, We're a wellness company that focuses on clean ingredients. We operate in three categories. We operate in a category of plant-based wellness, clean ingredient skincare, and then natural organic food. So think of all three brands not only in growth mode right now with the company, but in addition, they'll also have category expansion. The second one is channel expansion. So where they were primarily direct to consumer and now have a footprint in brick and mortar. As an example, No BS is entering CVS as we speak right now. And then TrueBar has entered over half of the Costco regions in the United States. We'll continue that brick and mortar expansion. Lastly, we'll start now our geographic footprint expansion. We'll be entering into the UK later this year. Essentially, the way to think of the company is it's a growth company in this very strict guardrail space. Last year, we did $15 million. This year, we'll do $50 to $55 million, and the company will be adjusted EBITDA positive. It's about not just growing, but growing responsibly and enabling us while we're on that journey with these brands to be able to provide solutions for these consumers that we very, very much care about. And we're proud of the team that enables that to happen.
Kathy, it's an incredible mission and an incredible purpose that you guys are working on there. Kathy Casey, CEO of Simply Better Brands. It's been a wonderful time talking with you. Thank you for sharing more about what you guys are working on.
Thank you, Michael. And I encourage anybody that's watching this video, wants to learn more, they can reach out to me directly via LinkedIn or go to our investor relations website. We care very much about not only our consumers, but also our shareholders. And we operate with an incredible core value of transparency.